Hey, Shalom Saints. This is your brother Gideon, and I'm here today once again, to talk about gear. So, I've had videos out in the past. I talked about having actual gear video, but the question keeps coming up, and wanting more details. So here we go. I don't mind. So we got training coming up, once again. A lot of brothers are training, a lot of people are training out there. And this is, everybody individually has different ways they carry equipment and what's best for them, especially for whatever mission that you're doing. I'm a civilian now, so I'm not doing anything spectacular other than, home defense. But I still have a way that I like to carry my equipment. It's just some things I'm used to, some things, I've learned over the years, my experience being in combat, that just helped me improve. Some things I just like because they look good. Let's be honest. So I'm going to talk about my carrier. All right, starting off. So I have a Cry Precision. All right, I did have another vest before, but I found that this one just works out better for me. So right now I'm rocking a Cry Precision JPC 2.0. All right, so one of the older ones, they've gone past that now. But hey, I like this. It's pretty lightweight. It's a jumpable carrier, and it does what I need to do. All right, so let's start with the back. Okay, come to the back here. All right. So in the back, I got extra mags. Now, these mags I can't necessarily, get to all the time, but this is where I store mags. Now, I'll tell you this. So when I was in combat, I used to carry extra ammunition in my assault bag, and no matter where, anytime I went out, I always have 8 mags available on me, standard. I always had 8 mags, probably, I think like 2 grenades and a smoke. I think I had, 2 grenades, 2 smokes, and when I was in a vehicle, I had an incendiary grenade. And that's what I carry, man. And I also had ammunition, loose ammunition, inside of my bag with my MRE and stuff like that when I was doing a raid or assault, whatever we was doing at the time. So this is what I was carrying. Now, I'm the weapon that I'm rocking is usually 5.56. In this case, I got 300 blackout. So I also carry shotgun shells. Now I've done videos on breaching and stuff like that. So that's something that having a master key is awesome. Because it can get you into a lot of places. All right, I used to carry a sledgehammer. I can do a lot with a sledgehammer. There's many doors in Iraq I've bust open with just a good old sledgehammer. So that's good. So I got 3 mags on the back here. And another thing I like about the Cry Precision one is that you can zip this off. So I can, like I said, whatever you want. If you want to carry like a backpack on one bag. So for my Recondo bag, I actually have a bag back here. It's a collapsible bag. And because when I'm going out and I'm doing a patrol or recon, then I like to carry certain items. If you look at some of the beginning videos of Saints Living United, you'll see us walking through the Nicaraguan jungle, and we're carrying, it's not Nicaragua. It looks like Nicaragua. But I'm carrying that bag and that setup. So that's what I got there. And just like I said, different assortment of shotgun shells depending. I like, because where I go, I like to carry a shotgun. In the back here, you gotta have some of this stuff too, man. I will break you. I love that guy. All right. So it's another deal I got back here. A little goodie bag here. Like I said, some of these videos I've talked about this in the past. Now, usually this right here, this can go right here in the abdomen area, right here. Keep that, but I keep it in the back right here. And my good old Ranger handbook. Okay, ever since I went to Ranger School, way back when, when it was hard, we used to have that kind of camouflage. It lets you know how far I go back. Rangers still had black berets. So, it's always good to go into the Ranger handbook and then look up stuff, because there are things that, I forget. And, especially when it comes to mission plannings or stuff like that, I always go back to a reference guide, because that right there is something when I could look at another Ranger or whomever, or someone who's on that level, we have commonality. So I can say, okay, this is what we're planning. You understand this, you know what I mean? So that's what we do. So civilian types might not know what I'm talking about, but that's what I'm talking about. All right, so in my little handy dandy bag, all right, a couple things I keep. All right, in my bag I got some spray insect repellent, very good to have. All right, I like to keep a headlamp. Headlamps are very useful, extremely useful, and I have found them to be mission essential. You pop these things on your head when you need to run, especially you gotta have a red light. Red lens, making sure that you have a red lens and stuff like that, very good to have. And also spare batteries. I got also a mesh net that you can don over your head, getting after it. And this is not for camouflage, this is actually to keep those mosquitoes off, because that's what happens sometimes. The mosquitoes can get really rancid sometimes, especially when you're in certain areas like the Nicaraguan jungles. All right, got a little antenna here for my radio, and then moving on. All right, I have some camouflage with a mirror. All right, it's what we call a signaling mirror. Signaling. Very good to have. Lensetic compass. All right. Now, the compass that I usually use, and something I've been having ever since I was, a little wombat, is having one that has tritium in it. Now, not everybody can afford or always has tritium, but I like the fact they have tritium, because, I remember years and years ago, I went through a thing called the STAR course. And when I was going through it, you needed tritium. It was dark. There's a part to brag that seemed like they don't have lights. And that was critical, very critical to have something like this. And it got me through the course, and I really appreciate it, good training. And, because of my reconnaissance background, I like to be able to have something to take notes. Now, audible notes. Now, when it's raining, it's snowing, your hands are freezing and stuff like that, I've found that it is difficult at best to try to write down all of this stuff. I know when you're trying to write it down and it's raining, it's shaking and stuff like that, and you need to take notes. Man, this is easy. I'm sitting here and and then boom, extra batteries for this. Very good to have, and just for any reason at all. You need to take a note, or you need to say something, whatever. Just good. It's just good to have. So it's just something I've learned to use over the years, and that's what I have in that. And there's other little things we'll talk about, privately that I may carry in here or may not carry. To help me out in certain situations. But I don't necessarily want to put it out to the world. But there's things I carry, other things I carry. So just to give you an idea, certain things I carry here in the back. Okay, zip this bad boy up. Do something that, a lot of people don't like to do these days. They used to do it in ancient times. They don't really do it that much these days. It's called putting things back where you got it from. Yeah, boy. So lost trait. Anyways, so I have a nylon webbing here. My nylon webbing that I like to use. I keep this in here for stretcher litter type thing. Because there's many different reasons why you can use something like that. I've seen where we used to experiment a long time ago with like hooks and stuff like that to try to get your buddies, pull your buddies out of said situations, and things like that. But nylon webbing, everybody can carry that. And then you can tie them together using water knots and stuff like that. You can make ladders. You can, like I said before, stretchers or, litters or whatever. And it's just great. Or, tie it to someone and just drag them. There's so many different things you can do. So a nylon web doesn't cost much. You can go on Amazon, get something like that. Very good to have. And get the training. It's what I call mission essential equipment. You know what I mean? And then, hey, if you run out or you don't have a, let's say if by chance your on your rifle sling break, hey, you got a sling, be a little long, but you got a sling. Anyways. And another thing I've had for years is this right here. This is my GPS. I know a lot of people have GPS now. Watch the Mike Glover, you may know him. He's got a watch, a really fancy watch. A lot of these guys got these fancy watches. SF guys, all these fancy watch. They can do it because they can afford it. But this thing has got me through a lot. I mean, I've had this thing for years, man. I would highly suggest you getting yourself a good Garmin. Like I say, if it's via watch, hallelujah. I used to wear this on my arm. It's like such, keeping it on my arm. When I come off the bird or something, I check my coordinates. It never worked because they were scrambling everything coming off that bird. But as soon as the birds flew away, boom, you know what I mean? I could get a signal and then bam, go straight to my objective, which I already knew it was anyway, because as soon as I get off the bird, what do you know? You hit your compass, pew, go there. They'll tell you typically, which orientation of the nose, but coming out the rear of the aircraft, still want to, that's my objective. Make sure I'm hitting the right house. All right, so moving on up front. Oh, let me go to the side. So that's another thing I like about here. You can put extra mags and stuff like that. You see right here, I have little data plate right here. It's got my A positive, PCN, for penicillin and my name. And I also keep a medical patch here too. I'm using that currently to put in my daddy bag. We talked about that. So when I'm not having a daddy bag, I'll put that on there. So I'm having, like I said, 2 is 1 and 1 is none. So I'll have 2 medical packs instead of in 1, 2 tourniquets instead of in 1. You know what I mean? There I go with that you know what I mean stuff again. All right. So up front, more magazines. All right. Easily accessible. And I have some pouches on the side. And the pouches on the right, so that's a little messed up there. Got extra batteries and stuff like that. Retainer bands or Ranger bands, rubber bands. God, I didn't remember the civilian way of saying anything. Just rubber bands. So rubber bands I got can help me retain some equipment. So anytime you going anywhere, always make sure you change out your batteries prior to going on that, and then make sure you have enough batteries to last for whatever proposed amount of time. Because I don't know how many times I've been on a mission or something and they're like, hey, yeah, we should be on the objective probably, no more than 4 to 5 hours or 3 hours or what. And then, all of a sudden it's like, hey man, hey, the sun's about to come up. When the birds come in, well, they don't fly during the daytime. So you got to wait. Then we are waiting all night, all day. Then wait until night again for the birds to come pick us up. So, make sure that you have enough equipment to get you by. Okay, because I've been in some bad situations. All right, suppressor, my little handy dancy suppressor. I'm pretty sure some people might like this, but I like talking about the suppressors. Get them things I've crafted. Hey, I'm not saying that you should do this. So I'm letting you know right now, what I do in any of my videos, you don't necessarily need to do, just for, legal purposes, But I like this little suppressor right here. It can go on a lot of my rifles. It works on a lot of different rifles. It did not come like this, because Surefire got all their proprietary stuff. So I had to have something made to fit on the back here. So I can now install it with a Surefire suppressor. I do like the Surefire flash hider or whatever, muzzle device. And we got some more stuff from a radio. All right, so that pretty much covers that what's on there. And then also my plates, okay? I got very lightweight plates. What was the name of these plates? I forget. Let me look at them again, man. I should know them. Huskberries, what do they call it? Hesco. That's a huskberries. Hesco. I got Hesco plates. What was it, 3+, something like that? Oh, yeah. So they're supposed to stop. They definitely will stop AK rounds. So we're good with that. As for armor piercing rounds or extremely high speed round, I don't know. All right, moving on. Pistola. Safe and clear. My handy dandy. Now, this is another question someone asked me and was wondering, how do you engage in quickly? Because I don't know if people have talked about not using your sights. Let me tell you something. You better use your sights, because check this out. You are accountable for every shot you fire. And I don't care when anybody tells you, the reason fast is smooth and smooth is fast. All right. If I'm moving fast, it's because I'm smooth. And it's not because I'm trying to do this supersonic firing. It's just I've been practicing a long time, and that's just my draw stroke. And I've learned little things over the years that help me be more efficient. So I'm just trying to master the basics. That's all. Mastering the basics makes you better. All right. So make sure you do that. But some of the things I have learned is, like on my 1911, 2011 version of Pistola, I put little dots in the back. Okay. Now this is just to give me a reference. So when I'm going up, all I'm doing is I'm visually looking, and my eyes are drawn to that. And as my eyes are drawn to it, I'm looking, and my eyes automatically say, look between it. And then as soon as I look between it, there's a dot there. Okay. So it kind of helps me speed up, because really when you're moving that fast, I don't really have a lot of time to sit there and try to do all this aim and stuff. It's point and aim, man. I'm going up, boom. And so natural point of aim. So I'm doing natural point of aim, going down, looking, boom, every time. Works out real good. So that's something that you want to consider. Having a good holster. This is a Viper or something, I think it was called. I got a G-code connecting piece here, and Viper something. I don't know. I can't remember the name brand of it, but it works out pretty good. Good old rigger's belt here, pretty thick. Don't remember what company this is, but it's got the big old, is it Cobra, whatever, something buckle, whatever these things are called, I can't remember. But that's what I got on it, and then my medical kit. All right, so that's another thing. So when we get the training coming up, listen, it's all good to learn how to shoot fast and do all these good things, but listen, you need to learn medical, okay? Learning how to treat a gunshot wound. If you're gonna play this game, say, okay, I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna learn how to shoot and do all this other, you better learn a lot, okay? We go through this thing called expert infantry badge to get a badge, right? I went through it. I was expert infantry, so that means I'm an expert infantryman. So that means I'm trying to top out to the highest level of my job I can, and I did. You know, you get those true blues, you the man. Good for the promotion boards. But real talk, you better learn this. This is mission essential. It's all good to be doing pew 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 pew. That's great. But sometimes the pew 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 get you. There's a Purple Heart on my truck. Okay. That's expert infantry badge, marksmanship badge. Expert infantry marksmanship badge. That means somebody got me one day. Okay. So sometimes when you go, you get shot. Sometimes other people get shot. And when they do, you need to learn how to treat them, because let me tell you, first aid is life-saving. If what you can do with buddy aid in that moment can save that person's life. But if you don't know what you're doing, that person can bleed out. They can go into shock. You don't know what to do. So it's good to know these things and train and practice these things, okay? So moving on. Good knife. All right. Keep my knife on my left side. All right. Good field knife. All right. Very good to have. All right. This is a Falconer A1 survival knife. I like it a lot. I have the big brother, a big Bowie knife that I have. I used to carry around it. I love these knives. The goods and bads of these knives, they chip easily, but they stay sharp forever. So I've done all kinds of things with these, and they stay sharp. But like if they hit rock or steel, something like that, they can chip easily. You know, they're not like a lot of these other carbon type knives, you know, that are easily sharpened, dull easily, rust easily. This one doesn't do that. It's made out of Japanese steel, I believe what they say it is. Japanese steel, same thing that's made out of a samurai sword. That thing is made out of. All right, moving on. More G-code holsters. I'm a true believer. Don't fail me. Yep. I like these, man. Pastor Dow put me on to this, man, a while ago, man. And I've been buying them ever since, man. I love these things. You want a good, they should, and they're not giving me any kickbacks. Trust me. They're a company here in North Carolina, I believe. I think I want to say they're in the county, one in Fayetteville or something. They're close. But I love these, man. Make sure you get the right size, you know, depending on what type of mag you're holding. They got the short, especially these mags, they got a long one, a short one. So I would recommend getting a longer one, all right, to hold some of these mags in. They hold pretty good, man. You know, you can tighten them down, cinch them up, bro. Okay, mission essential. Okay, I remember one time I was crossing over, a little war story for you. I was crossing over, was on a mission, on an objective or something, and was trying to get to one rooftop to the next. And here it is, the balconies were very close. So we're going to clear one little house coming across. It was weird. You had to go into a roof to come down. It was weird. Anyways, if you ever been to Iraq, you know something about Iraq. It's very interesting. I'm telling you, I don't know how if they had to pay power bills over there, it'd be interesting. Who's actually, one person probably have like $1 million power bill, bro, because they got wires everywhere, man. Them things is flying low, and I remember one time I hit them with a Humvee, it just blew up, man. It's crazy. But anyways, having wire cutters, something that's cut through those things, man. I've done it. We tried to get to another roof, man, or a balcony, and I was trying to use my knife, it wasn't working, and somebody was like, "Hey, click." Damn. Felt like a total dumbass. But anyways, ever since that time, carrying these. All right, so you should too. There's many things you can do with that, especially, you know, if you're on your rifle, you need a tool, something, things like that, it can help you out. So those are some of the equipment that I use. But remember, the best piece of equipment you ever have is right here, okay? Using that brain can get you out of a lot of stuff. It can get you in things too. So in the meantime, saints of the Most High Yah, I want to let y'all know I love y'all very much. Stay safe out there, okay? And listen to your leaders. Shalom, shalom.
Always remember the 5 principles of patrolling: planning, reconnaissance, security, control, and common sense.